welcome to class here at Yuga. Today's class is going to be focused on opening up through the inner thighs, hips, and the side body. We're going to do somewhat of a mandala flow. So what that means is if you are facing the front of your mat, well, a half mandala, we're going to be working around the mat some. So you'll be facing the left side and then the back of the mat, and then coming back. It'll always be facing kind of the left side. So if you're facing the front of your mat, if you want to set your phone or whatever you're using video-wise, if you like to look at the screen, set that on the left side of your mat. And to begin, we're going to come into a child's pose. So you can have knees together or knees as wide as the mat, toes touching, and just sinking the chest down towards the mat. You can sit high up on some elbows for now. You can extend the arms out long in front or relax them behind, down by your thighs, resting your forehead down on the mat. I'm going to stay up a little bit higher here. And if it's comfortable for you, you can go ahead and start to close down the eyes. And just taking a moment to arrive at your practice here today. Starting to take notice of any thoughts that are reoccurring in the mind. Not trying to chase them away, just kind of notice what thoughts are popping up. And then starting to take notice of any emotions that are in the body today. Are you feeling at ease? Are you feeling more anxious? Run down? A little jittery? Or are you feeling pretty calm, pretty present? And then just thinking back to those thoughts that you had, how do those thoughts correlate with the emotions that you were having? You know, our emotions are really just our body's reaction to our thoughts. So just paying attention of, you know, if you were having maybe no thoughts at all, or, you know, calm or happy thoughts, how was that affecting your emotions? Were you more at ease? Or if you were having thoughts of that long to-do list, or what to make for dinner, everything you need to get done this afternoon or didn't get done this morning, did that create emotions of more anxiety? And then I offer you just a moment to set an intention. Maybe it's an emotion that you want to feel or a thought that you want to have present more throughout your day. It can be a word, it can be a phrase. Just take a few moments to settle on one word, short phrase, to be your intention for class today. Good, and as we start moving, maybe put a little smile on your face. If your arms are not extended out long overhead, go ahead and put them there now. Knees can still be together or as wide as the mat. Just stretching those fingertips a little bit further away from the waist. Back of the neck is long. Maybe nod the head yes and no a few times. Releasing through the jaw. And then begin to walk your hands over towards the right side, coming a little bit off your mat, opening up through the left side body. If you want a little bit deeper, you can place the left hand on top of the right, stretching that left hand away from the left hip, opening up along the side body. Breathing in, opening up between each rib space. And breathing out, finding a little bit more softness. Walking the hands back through center and just off to the other side. So off over to the left now, right offside the mat. Right hand can place on top of left for a deeper sensation. Opening up, sending that right hip back, right hand forward. Try and find a little bit more space between each intercostal muscle there. Coming back through center, pushing through the knees, coming up in your all fours position, and then lowering down onto the mat so you're coming down onto the belly. You can just make plant one palm on top of the other, making a little pillow with your head, resting your forehead down onto your hands. Bringing the left knee out to the side so the left knee is in line with the left hip. Coming into your kind of like a tree position, but laying on our bellies here. And just letting the left hip softly melt down into the earth here. Not too much effort right now, just trying to release through the front of the left hip. Using your breath, releasing any gripping through the glutes here. I always find myself gripping here. Just releasing that tension. You can maybe find a little push of the left knee into the floor to help open up a little bit more. And then rolling onto the right side, you can leave the left knee where it is, propping the right hand under the head, right leg's extended out long. We're just lifting the right ankle up towards the ceiling and lowering back down onto the mat. Just finding a little bit of activation through the inside of the right inner thigh here. Doesn't matter how high it lifts up off the mat, just bringing your attention to that right inner thigh. Good, and the next time it lifts up to the ceiling, hold there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, lowering the right knee and ankle back down onto the mat. Bringing both knees a little bit more into the chest so you're in kind of a 90-degree. With the legs, you can press into that left hand, coming up onto the right elbow. So right elbow's under the right shoulder, and we're just gonna let this right side body sink a little bit closer down to the mat. Just opening up, you can place the left fingertips on the ribs and the side body, trying to give a little sensory input. You can close down the eyes if that's more comfortable. Just kind of with each exhale, see if you can melt that side body a little bit closer down towards the mat. Good, and releasing back onto the belly. We're just gonna do all of that on the second side. So again, you can make that little pillow with the hands and bringing the right knee out to the side so right knee is in line with the right hip. Left foot is just kind of floating off onto that right side. Releasing through the glutes here. You can use your hands as a little pillow for your forehead. Let that right hip sink a little bit deeper down towards the mat. If you feel like you've already got quite a bit of space here and this is not really doing much for you, you can push that right knee into the floor to activate through that right inner thigh a little bit more. Release the shoulders away from the ears if you find yourself clenching. And then rolling onto the left side, right knee stays where it is. You can use that left hand to prop up the head, left leg's extended long, and same thing on this side, just raising that left ankle up towards the ceiling, finding that activation through the left inner thigh. Even if the ankle doesn't move at all, just the action of trying to lift that thigh will be helpful. And the next time that the left ankle's up towards the ceiling, hold there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Releasing the left leg down to the floor, bringing the left knee in towards the chest so knees are at about 90 degrees. Using the right hand to pop up onto the left elbow. Left elbow's under the left shoulder and releasing through the left side body now. You can do whatever with the head feels comfortable. You can kind of drop the left ear towards the left shoulder. You can bring the chin in towards the chest. But just really trying to find some softness to let go along that left side body. Again, you can use some sensory input, just a little tap or tickle of the fingertips on the ribs. Just bringing a little bit more awareness to that space. Releasing back down onto the belly and pushing through the hands to come back in through a child's pose. Coming back to that intention that you set at the beginning of practice. Are you starting to make any micro shifts in your emotions or in your thoughts? And if not, just an opportunity now to come back to that. Walking the hands back in to meet the knees, rising up to a kneeling position. Stepping the right foot forward, and pinky toe should be on the outer right edge of the mat. Feet are kind of on railroad tracks. Nice hip width, with the right foot being a little bit wider out. Some blocks might be helpful here. So you can, if you have those or like cheese blocks, you can bring those in. Both hands are going to come to the inside of the right foot. Trying to glue kind of your right knee towards the back of your right tricep. Coming into our lizard lunge. Left toes can be tucked under or foot flat on the mat. And just a little pulse into this right knee here first. Just kind of finding what leg stance feels comfortable for you. Keeping that right foot grounded down into the mat for right now, so right big toe stays on the mat. Keeping that knee glued into that right bicep. And just start to rock the hips back towards the heels, straightening through that right leg. Doesn't need to come anywhere near straight, just straightening out and then bending back into the right knee and straightening out through that right hamstring. Just a few more breaths here. And the next time that you bend into that right knee, pausing there, you can turn onto the pinky toe edge of the right foot now, letting the right knee fall out to the side, adjusting your blocks as you need. Staying here if this feels comfortable, or if you'd like to go a little bit further, you can keep the left hand down onto the mat. Right hand comes to the knee, maybe pushing that knee open just a little bit more. Or even bending through the left knee, bringing the left heel towards the left glute, reaching behind, maybe grabbing hold of that left foot. Trying to keep those hips low though. Gaze can be down at the mat or over the right shoulder. If you've got a hold of that left foot, slowly release it, bringing the right hand back inside to the inside of the right foot. Walking back into your lizard lunge, right foot is fully planted on the mat. Left knee stays where it is, but just bringing the left shin parallel with the back side of your mat. Inhale, reaching the left hand towards the sky as you spiral the chest up towards the left. Right hand can be down on the block of the mat, or you can come up a right forearm on top of right thigh. You can be a little bit deeper into that right, bend a little bit deeper into that right knee if you'd like. Rising back up through center, left hand goes to the back of the mat, right leg extends long, right arm reaches up towards the ceiling, and then arm releases, bicep next to right ear, big long line from those right toes all the way to the right fingertips. Push the hips forward. And then exhale, coming back through center, bringing right knee to meet left, sinking back into your kneeling position. Bring the hands forward onto the mat. Just tuck the toes under, coming to our toe stance. And take a moment here again. Hands can be up on some blocks for some more support. This can be a pretty intense pose, so you can lean the chest forward, leaning onto some blocks, playing with how much pressure you want to put on the toes. Okay? And close down the eyes. Maybe muttering your intention to yourself over and over to help get you through these intense sensations. Good, bringing the hands back down to the mat or blocks, untuck the toes, tops of the feet come down to the mat. Turn to face you. Hands can be down on the mat or again up on some blocks. Tops of the feet are going to stay on the mat. And you're just going to, I like to come into more of a cat spine here, rounding through the spine. You're just going to lift the right knee a few inches up off the mat, stretching through the front of that right foot, right ankle. Lowering that right knee down. Same thing on the left side, just a few inches. And releasing. You can continue rotating back and forth, lifting right and left leg, or you can lift both legs, both knees. Bringing the knees up towards the belly. Continuing to breathe. And release. Bringing those blocks with you if you've got them. Setting them off to either side of your mat as you come to face the back edge of your mat. Sink the hips down into child's pose. We're going to go through that kneeling series here now on the left side. So walking the hands back in to meet the knees, rising up onto the knees, stepping the left foot forward. Left pinky toe raises the left side of your mat. Again, you can come down onto some blocks, play with your stance. Kiss that left elbow, left tricep to that left knee. Keep that glued there. As you start to pulse into the left knee, letting the hips fall a little bit closer down to the mat. Kind of finding your comfort here, finding your edge. And then whenever you're ready, keeping that left knee glued to that left tricep, start to straighten out through the left leg. Again, doesn't matter how straight it goes. Left toe is still glued down onto the mat. We're just straightening, getting into that left hamstring. Maybe taking notice of one side is tighter than the other. My left hamstring is way tighter. I can barely sink my hips back down to my heels. But again, depth does not matter here. One more. Good. Coming back through center, deep bend in that left knee. You can come up onto the pinky edge toe of that knee, letting the left hip fall out to the side. Right hand can stay planted down on the mat or a block. Maybe you need to adjust your hand a little bit further. And maybe pushing the left hand into that left knee. And then you still want a little bit more, you can bend through the right knee, reaching the left hand behind. Maybe it grabs hold of that right foot. Keeping the chest proud, gazing over that left shoulder or down at the mat. Two more breaths. Good. If you've got a hold of that right foot, gently release it as it lowers down to the mat. Both hands come back to the inside of that left foot. Right foot or right knee stays where it is. Left foot stays where it is. And just that right foot swivels so that the shin is in line with the front of your mat now. Left hand stands planted on the block or the mat. Right arm spirals up towards the ceiling. Or you can come up, left forearm on top of left thigh. Good. So long, big line of energy from that right knee all the way to the right fingertips. Coming back up through center. Right hand's gonna come to the top of your mat now. Left foot extends long. Left arm reaches up towards the ceiling, pushing the hips forward. Then you can release that left bicep along the left ear. Big side body stretch all along the left side. The left knee comes back to meet the right. Taking your blocks back around to the front of your mat here. And sinking down into one more child's pose. you're feeling a little bit looser here, maybe you go a little bit deeper, maybe you find a little bit of movement, a small sway side to side. Releasing through the back of the neck. Pushing your way back up to a neutral tabletop. Shoulders are over the wrist, hips are over the knees. Spread those fingertips nice and wide. Inhale, drop the belly. Widen in between the sits bones as you let that chest pull through the arms. Then exhale, pushing into the hands, curling tailbone under for cat. Inhale, drop the belly. Now pulling those hands back towards the knees, letting that chest shine through. And exhale, pushing into the hands, rounding the back of the heart up towards the ceiling. Good. A few more rounds of cat-cow on your own. Taking this into any other form of cat and cow that you'd like. If you'd like to find some cat and cow waves. If you'd like to get a little bit more into the side body as you dip one shoulder over towards a hip. Or even maybe just finding some figure eights. About 3 or 4 breaths on your own just to kind of find whatever movement you're feeling called to. We'll be waking our way up to standing here shortly, so take this time in your all fours to get any other little wiggles out that you would like. Good, and then whenever you're ready, coming back through a neutral tabletop, tuck the toes under, send the hips a little bit closer towards the heels. Press those fingertips down into the mat, spread them nice and wide, strong through the shoulders. Take a breath here. And exhale, send the hips high towards the sky for your down dog. Nice long spine here. Shoulders are pressing up towards the ears. You can shake out again through the head. Maybe shake a little yes, a little no. Keep those knees bent as much as you need to find that nice length in the spine. Then you can start to pedal out through the heels, dropping one heel down towards the mat as you straighten out through that leg, bigger bend through the other knee, and then switching the legs up. Good, taking a moment to come back to that intention. Finding a position here where you feel like you can pause in stillness for just another breath or two. Whenever you're ready, big bend in the knees as you start to slowly walk the toes up towards the wrist. Keeping those knees nice and bent. Coming to the top of the mat into a forward fold. Bend those knees as much as you need to. Let the belly hit the thighs. Back of the neck hangs long. Crown of the head reaching towards the ceiling or towards the floor. Trying to find a little bit more space between each vertebra here. Slowly rolling up. As you come to the top of the mat, maybe give it all a little shake, a little wiggle. Before we come to our standing series, so standing at the top of the mat, feet are hips width apart, parallel, little bend in the knees. Inhale, sweep the arms down, around and up. Exhale, folding, hinging at the hips so the belly meets the thighs. Inhale, hands come to the shins as you straighten out through the spine, gazing over your mat. And exhale to fold. If you have blocks and you use them in those kneeling series, you might want to here now. Just heel toe your feet a little bit wider. Again, that right foot, right pinky toe is going to go towards the outside of your right mat. Big step back with the left foot onto the toes for your lizard lunge here. Again, we've got the knee raised here now. If at any point this feels too much, you can always lower that knee back down, coming down to that kneeling lizard. Again, maybe you're just rocking on those back toes back and forth as you flex and extend through the ankle, kind of finding where this feels comfortable here. Hips are square. Right foot is planted firmly into the mat. Again, that right knee kind of makes contact somewhere along that right, like tricep, elbow area. Pausing here, finding your breath. Growing long through the spine, that crown of head reaches away from the left heel. And then right foot stays planted, left heel drops towards the middle of your mat, so your left foot is parallel with the back edge of your mat. Right hand can stay planted on the mat, block. Inhale as you spiral the left arm up towards the ceiling. You can also come up like we did the kneeling. Right forearm can be on right thigh for your side angle pose. Good. Keeping that left arm reaching up towards the ceiling, almost like a little string. Somebody's pulling you up as you rise up through center into your warrior two. Big bend in that right knee. Pushing through the right knee, coming to straighten through that right leg. Moving any blocks out if they're in your way. Turning the right toes to face the long edge of your mat. Again, we're always facing that left edge of the mat. Turning the toes out, heels in. Sink the hips down, coming into your goddess pose. You can have the hands on the knees, you can have forearms on thighs. Just find a little sway side to side. Good, you can pause as you come through center, dipping the right elbow in towards the midline, twisting a bit out through the spine, coming back through center, left elbow dips in towards the middle. Good. Back up through center. If you've got those blocks, just bring them with you as we turn to face the back edge of the mat. Heel toe that left foot, so the left pinky toe is towards the left edge of the mat. Popping up onto the right toes, coming into our lizard lunge on the second side. Again, hands can be down on the mat. Always can drop the back knee. Rocking the shoulders over the wrists a bit as we flex and extend through the right ankle. And finding a moment of stillness, a moment to pause. As you reach the crown of the head away from that right heel. Long through the sides of the body. And then right heel drops towards the mat, towards the midline. Right foot is parallel with the short edge of the front of your mat. Hand stays on the block. Spiral your hand up to right arm up towards the ceiling for your side angle. And you can always come up onto the right thigh with the forearm. If your forearm is on the thigh, just keep this left shoulder strong, pushing nice and strong, not collapsing into the shoulder. Equal weight through both feet. So keep that right arm extended as you come back up through center, extending the left arm over that left knee for your warrior two. Straightening through that left leg, turning the left toes to face the long edge of your mat. Feet are going to stay parallel now with, toes turned a little bit more in, heels a little bit out. Little bend in the knees. Growing long through the spine, you can reach your hands up towards the ceiling, reaching the hands away from the hips. And then exhale to fold forward, sending the hips back, spine stays long until your hands can come down onto the mat or onto some blocks. Keep pushing those hips back, crown of the head reaches forward, long through the spine. Again, bending into the knees as much as you need to. You can play with your stance. Maybe you're able to widen it a little bit more now. Coming back to your intention. Back to that emotion that you're trying to achieve today. And then staying in this position, just start to turn the toes a little bit out towards the corners of your mat. So we're kind of back in that heels are in, toes out. Bending into the right knee, sending the right knee kind of over the right toes, lengthening along the inside of the left leg. Again, hands can stay up on some blocks or the mat. You can walk your hands with your blocks as much as you would like to. Just trying to keep that spine nice and long, hips are back. And then switching over to the other side, walking your blocks with you if you would like, bending into the left knee, straightening through the right. A couple more each side. You can keep your hands planted in the middle if you would like as well. then bending a little bit more into that right knee. As you walk towards the front of your mat, placing your hands back down onto the mat, coming into your all fours position. A few rounds of cat-cow here. Taking what you need, as fast or as slow as you would like. Or you can even sink the hips back down into a child's pose. Good. Right knee's going to stay on the mat. The left leg extends long. And then you're sweeping the left leg over towards the right. Dropping that left hip down a little bit more towards the mat. Hopefully feeling a lot of sensation through the outside of the right hip. So you can stay here if you'd like, or if you would like to come into pigeon pose and you're familiar with that, just bring the left leg back extended long. Bring that right knee up towards the right wrist, bending through the knee. Left foot can be up towards the wrist or back towards the left hip. And then sinking the hips down, trying to keep those hips square. You can stay up nice and high, or you can even release down onto the elbows, onto some blocks. Let the back of the neck hang heavy. We're going to begin cooling down, so starting to maybe slow down the breath. Try to extend the exhales. Another opportunity to come back to that intention. Press back into the hands, raising up, and you're just going to sit off to the right side, so your right hip comes down to the mat, left leg is extended out long to about 45 degrees, right foot comes to meet the inside of the left inner thigh. Inhale the arms up towards the sky, so you're reaching the fingertips up towards the ceiling, growing along through the spine, and then exhale, you're going to side bend over towards the left. Left hand comes anywhere along that left leg, maybe it grabs the left toes. Keeping that right sits bones grounded as you reach the right fingertips away from the hip. And rising back up through center without just release your right leg out to the side without trying to push it too far with your hands. Hands can come now, so you're in this wide-legged seated fold. Hands can come behind the back to try and help you find that nice long spine if this is already quite a lot, or if this is feeling okay. Keeping that nice long spine at the crown of the head, reaching up towards the ceiling, you start to fold from the hips. Hands can come out in front. Back of the thigh, somewhat trying to press into the ground, not pushing it too far. And breathe. Walking the hands back in towards your center, keeping the right leg extended out to 45 degrees, bringing the left foot in to meet that right inner thigh. Again, inhale, reaching those arms up towards the ceiling. Find the length. For exhaling, bending over towards the right. Right fingertips find somewhere along that right leg. Keeping the left sits bone grounded, you can gaze up under the left bicep or down at the ground. Opening up along that left side body. Inhaling back through center. Hands are going to come towards the back of the mat. As you come up onto the left knee, right leg is extended long. Sweeping the right leg over towards the left, letting that right hip drop down towards the mat here. Again, feeling hopefully some more sensations along the left outer hip. Staying right here if this is enough. This is is where I would stay if I was just doing the class. Or if you want to find that pigeon pose, you can bring that right leg in line with the right hip. Left knee comes towards the left wrist, bending in the right knee, or bending in the right foot towards that right hip. If you've got some more flexibility, you can bring that right ankle all the way up towards the right wrist. That's very intense. Keep the hips nice and square, staying up nice and high on fingertips or on blocks, or sinking the hands down, maybe resting on elbows, letting the crown of the head, letting the back of the neck hang heavy. You can always place any kind of block under this left hip if you've got a lot of space between your hip and the mat. Or just letting it hang in space as you try and find a little bit more softness, a little bit more heaviness as you sink that hips down towards the mat with each breath. When you're ready, you can let that left hip drop off to the side, coming back up to your seated position, bringing both soles of feet to touch in front of you, making our diamond shape with the legs. You can take a moment just to give the little toes and foot a massage, maybe squeezing a bit through the ankles. Then we're going to go and try and find more of a rounded spine here. So first, dipping the chin in towards the chest, rounding through that upper spine, mid-back, low back. Just letting the head, crown of the head fall towards the feet. If you've got some more flexibility here, you may even like to shimmy the arms, so like palms up, shimmying the arms under the legs, and just letting the crown of the head release down towards the feet. Few breaths here. And slowly rolling up, unraveling those arms. And just coming to face the feet towards the back of the mat, head towards the front, slowly lowering down, soles of the feet flat on the mat, knees up towards the ceiling. Pick up the hips, move them a little bit over towards the right. Extending the left leg down along the mat, bringing the right knee into the chest. And then using that left hand to guide the right knee across the body for our spinal twist. Right arm can come down along the side, it can come out to the right. Gaze can be up at the ceiling or maybe over those right fingertips. Trying to release now through this right inner thigh. Releasing any gripping, letting that right thigh fall a little bit closer towards the mat. You can place a block under the right knee if you'd like some more support. Rolling back onto the back, just switching out to the other side, so placing the soles of the feet flat on the mat, shifting the hips over towards the left, extending the right leg long. Left knee pulls into the chest. And then guiding the left knee across the body as you come into your spinal twist on the second side. Coming back through center. Taking any other final movements that your body's feeling called to do. Or releasing down into your Shavasana. Legs go long down along the mat. Arms down along the side. Or any other position for Shavasana you'd like to take. You can bend the knees, placing the soles of the feet wide as the mat, knocking the knees in towards one another. Finding any position that you feel like you can pause in stillness for these last few minutes. First, just tuning back into the body, taking notice of any gripping. Can you let that go? Any tension through the face, releasing through the jaw, releasing through the glutes, the front of the hip. And taking notice of any emotions that may be coming up now and any differences that you feel from the beginning of class. Any differences in your thoughts and how those are affecting how you feel now. If you are feeling more at ease or a sense of calm, just knowing that this is always available to you, you always have access to this. You just have to clear out the clutter of the mind, clear out our thoughts, so that our body's reaction to those calmer thoughts can guide our emotions. I'll leave you in complete stillness and silence for another minute. You can start to gently wake the body back up. Little wiggle of the toes, wiggle of the fingers, maybe a gentle rock of the head side to side. And whenever you're ready, rolling on to one side, pausing there for as long as you would like. before coming up to a seated position. We'll take one final breath together as we inhale, reaching up tall through the spine up towards the ceiling. And exhaling the palms down through center. Thank you all so much for moving with me today. Namaste.